There's a place on Earth so small you can miss it with a blink, but every single day, backhand index pointing right, 20% of the world's oil passes through it. And if it shuts down, gas prices explode, economies crash, global trade collapses, all because of backhand index pointing right, one narrow strip of water. This is the story of the Strait of Hormuz, the most dangerous choke point on Earth. But here's the part no one tells you. This place has triggered wars, threatened superpowers, and could one day decide the fate of the global economy. Why? And by the end of this video, backhand index pointing right, you'll understand why the entire world is silently watching it. On a map, the Strait of Hormuz looks insignificant. A thin line of water between Iran and Oman. At its narrowest point, just about 30 kilometers wide. That's smaller than many cities. And yet this tiny gap connects the Persian Gulf to the open ocean, which means something very important. Backhand index pointing right, every ship carrying oil from countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, UAE, and Iran must pass through this exact point. Retention trigger. Backhand index pointing right. Imagine a highway where all traffic must pass through one single lane. Now imagine blocking that lane. That's the Strait of Hormuz. Long before oil, before modern nations, this water was already powerful. Ancient traders from Persia, India, and Arabia sailed through it carrying silk, spices, and gold. It was part of one of the earliest global trade networks. Empires didn't just want land. Backhand index pointing right. They wanted control of movement. Then came the Kingdom of Hormuz, a small but incredibly rich trading empire. They didn't conquer massive territories. Instead, they controlled this narrow passage. And that was enough. Backhand index pointing right. No army, no war. Just control the route and become rich. But wealth attracts power. In the 1500s, the Portuguese arrived. They captured the strait and built forts. Later, the British took control to protect their route to India. Different empires, same strait. Backhand index pointing right, control. Hormuz equals control trad. But everything changed when humans discovered something far more valuable than gold. Oil. In the 20th century, massive oil reserves were discovered beneath the Middle East. Suddenly, this region became the energy heart of the world, and the Strait of Hormuz became its main artery. Today, around 20 million barrels of oil pass through the strait every day. That's nearly 1/5 of global supply. Backhand index pointing right. What happens if that stops? Everything changes. Fuel becomes expensive overnight. Transport slows down. Food prices are icy. Even countries thousands of kilometers away feel the shock. In the 1980s, during the Iran-Iraq War, the world saw how dangerous this place really is. Both sides began attacking oil tankers in the strait. Ships exploded. Waters burned. Over 100 vessels were damaged or destroyed. This became known as the Tanker War. And suddenly, the world realized something terrifying. Backhand index pointing right, this tiny passage could disrupt the entire global economy. After the Iranian Revolution in 1979, Iran gained strong control over the northern side of the strait. Since then, tensions have never really stopped. There have been seized oil tankers, military standoffs, threats to block the strait. And yes, it could actually happen. Iran has repeatedly warned, if we are attacked, we can close the Strait of Hormuz. And here's the scary part. Experts believe even a partial disruption could cause global chaos. But today, the strait carries more than oil. Beneath these waters lie undersea cables. These cables power the internet banking system's global communication. So if something happens here, it's not just fuel that stops. Backhand index pointing right, it's the digital world too. A narrow strip of water, quiet on the surface, but holding the weight of the entire modern world. This is why powerful nations monitor it constantly. Why warships patrol IT. Why every conflict in this region matters global. Why? Because if the Strait of Hormuz ever close, yes, back-end index pointing right, the question won't be what happens in X, it will be how long the world can survive without it.